Welcome to the R7Podcast, episode number 1. I'm Vinicio Reynosa, or also well known as Vinny, and with me here are my kids.
I'm the oldest. I'm Landon, but you can just call me Chino.
I'm Tiago. I'm the second oldest, and I have a twin. I'm Dante, and Tiago is my twin brother, and I'm the third oldest.
How old are you, London?
I am 18.
I'm 14. I'm also 14.
So let's go over a little bit. Let me introduce myself. I was born and raised in El Salvador. Little background about me. I love martial arts. Started training martial arts back in 2008. And I have always wanted my kids to get into martial arts. Finally, those days are here. I always dreamt of us one day competing together. And what are we doing these days?
That day is soon upon us. That is in a week.
1 week from today,
What are we doing?
We're doing a
we
Muay
are
Thai
competing in the Arizona U.S. Open.
Arizona U.S. Open. So how did we ended up here?
I mean, Thiago was kind of the one that spoke out about it and started this whole spiral on like, okay, like, let's do this. Sorry. But basically, the story that I wasn't there, so I don't really have a clear memory of it, but I know that Thiago and Dante and you were all there.
Actually, you were there.
Really?
We were at home.
We were all there. Sitting
I
at
thought
the, it was still during wrestling season, too.
What happened?
We were all at the. You can talk. Sorry. Basically, it was still during wrestling season, so this was back in like January, February, when somewhere around there, and then we came home from the gym, our Muay Thai gyms, SOC Muay Thai, and then we were all sitting at the dinner table, and then. We were just talking, and
So, Papi asked the question, how are you guys feeling? Because you guys had Super State that weekend, and I had State the next weekend after that, I'm pretty sure. For wrestling. This, for me, it was high school wrestling. For these guys, it was wrestling club, because they're not in high school yet, but next year they are. And I got done with divisionals. I made it to State, and I was training. I think I just got back from one of my practices. And we were all sitting at the dinner table eating dinner together, and Papi asked the question, okay, how are you guys feeling? I think he asked you two first, because you guys were the ones about to go. Want to share a little bit of what you guys felt?
I felt ready. I felt pretty good about it. I don't know. At that moment, I kind of felt good.
Okay, yeah. So we were all. It happened on a Monday, like you said, probably sometime in February, and Landon was tired. He got home from wrestling after practicing in his high school team at school. He was dead because they were pushing hard the last 2 weeks of training before State. Then these guys were pushing hard too for Super State and Dante and Tiago. So they decided to go that Monday to Muay Thai with me since Landon was not available. And I was excited for them to continue to go because we set a goal last year around this time.
Oh, yeah.
Like March?
I extended an invitation, but yeah, it was a challenge. Who remembers what that challenge was? If you...
I remember it, but I don't.
If you compete, I'll compete?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what?
We're competing.
in Muay Thai, right? So I told him, hey, there is a tournament coming up next year. Is the U.S. Muay Thai Open. And I said, would you guys like to do it? And I have never seen the excitement you had. Like, you love wrestling, but yet I hadn't seen those faces before, where you said, yeah, let's do it. So when I saw those faces, I couldn't hold myself back, and I said, okay, so if you guys do it, then I will do it with you. I promise you. I'll prepare myself. I'm freaking old, but I will do it with you. And that's been almost a year ago. So that's what happened. You were there. You were on the couch. So you were listening. Yeah. Then after 45 minutes of us talking and sharing what we were feeling, Landon shared how he was feeling, so tired. And then Dante and Tiago were tired too. And I said, wow. In my mind, I was thinking, this conversation would have been so nice to record, to have it on the books for memory. It wasn't mostly was like a selfish probably moment for me as a dad, because I've heard your concerns, you share your feelings, frustrations and everything, your fears, how you were feeling as you were preparing for a tournament, big tournament, especially for Landon. Why was it so big for you?
Well, it's my senior year. I'm graduating in in about a month now. And that last tournament, that state tournament, was, in a sense, my last life. We had our banquet just a few days ago. And one of my friends said that, while he was at state too, that every match he felt like it was his last life. And in a way, that's how I felt. This is our last wrestling match. This is the last time I'll be able to put on those wrestling shoes and be able to compete like that. So, I wanted it. And I might have not placed, but I was really happy that I was able to be there. It was a goal ever since I was a little sophomore, ever since I started.
To qualify for state. And you did it.
And it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get there. But I think that's just another, story and example that you can say that hard work does pay off, no matter what.
I like that. Dante, how were you feeling about your tournament, Super State? First time you actually placed for Super State too. Oh, you actually were able to actually go and compete at a Super State.
I was nervous, for sure. It was kind of a hard tournament, to be honest. I didn't place. I don't know. I was feeling good because I felt I was doing hard work, but I don't know how I really was feeling.
Here's the thing, though, if I can butt in. I've been there before. I didn't place at state, and I lost time and time again. I remember the beginning of this year, of the season for wrestling. This was my first time actually being a varsity starter for the sport of wrestling. I was 120 at the beginning, and then I dropped down to 113. But, I just kept losing, and I kept getting beat up, and I would win, but then I would go back to, it was like I was restarting over and over again. And I don't think it was until, the very end that things just started happening. That these little wins and these little improvements that I saw were shoot, I belong here. Because before I didn't feel like that. Before I was why am I even a varsity member? I don't even know. Is it just luck that I'm here? But I remember you and Mommy said something to me. That you deserve to be there. And you belong there. So, what I can say to you, Dante, is just keep pushing. You still got, 4 years? and I wanna help you guys get to where you want to be there.
You have anything you want to share?
When I was getting ready for Super State, I had to cut a lot of weight. And yeah, I didn't do well. I did good. I mean, I pushed and I made weight, but there was at one point that I wanted to quit. Landon, he saw me, and I wanted to quit, but I pushed through. And after I made weight, I felt good. I was excited. I felt nervous, but I was ready to go get in that mat, get on that mat, and fight. I didn't place either. I mean, I could have done better, but I'm still proud of myself, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Something I thought that was really, really cool while I was helping you cut weight, because I remember I saw you, and you, Puppy, were like, go help Thiago cut weight, because, I mean, I've been doing it for 3 years. Like, I was used to it. And I had somewhat of a knowledge on how to do it. And I remember, like, going, like, helping you run and, like, run drills and, like, putting on the jumpsuit and going to the sauna. Like, and it was really hard for you to cut weight. I remember seeing that, and I'm like, shoot, is this how I look? I saw a mirror of myself within that, and I was like, that's sick, dude. And it was crazy, because, like, the literally the night before, the day of weigh-ins, we were at Vasa, and, like, my mom, I mean, was calling us, and she was like, you need to come, we have to go. And we were just getting that last run, we were just getting that last sprint, we were just getting those last 10 minutes in the sauna. And I just, like, I remember looking at you guys. Were you with us? I don't know if you were with us.
It was just me.
But I remember looking at you, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. I wish so much that I could have been in your shoes when I was that little. Like, it feels like I'm just barely figuring all that out, and you've already figured that out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you helping. It was a good way of bonding. It was just nice to have somebody help me, like Dante supporting me, Poppy and Mommy, the whole way. It's nice.
Well, this is cool because I remember when I started jiu-jitsu back in 2008. And one of the reasons I started grappling was because I always thought that it was kind of like a neutralizer between strength differences and height, power. You know, who is stronger than you. There's always gonna be someone bigger, stronger, faster than us, right? So when I started competing, I took about maybe 3-4 years before I started competing in jiu-jitsu. No, about 3 years. And truth is that I never won anything for almost 6 years that I competed. I traveled to Nevada, I traveled to Idaho, I competed here in the state, in Utah, and did several tournaments, Naga, Grappler's Quest, local tournaments here, and in Idaho. Every time I wrestle, I mean, I grappled, I had to go against wrestlers. So I'm like, what the heck, man? There's no quitting on these kids. So back then I decided, okay, when my boys get to that age, I'm going to have to ask them to wrestle. And I'm going to have to push wrestling into them, and they cannot tell me no. So that's something that they're going to have to do. And the reason why I decided to do that is I knew that you guys will grow as individuals. You guys will learn experiences that only you, by yourself, on your own, in your mind, can make those decisions to learn and push hard and not quit. Would you agree that that's probably some of the experiences you've felt so far?
Yeah, definitely.
I think going back to when you said, like, you basically kind of forced us to, I say it was one of the best things you could have made me do. Because I love the sport of wrestling, and I miss it so much. I love Muay Thai, and I'm excited to do this tournament. And, like, I have a really close connection with it because it's always been there with me. It's like my first martial arts that I actually jumped into. But wrestling was the one that opened my mind to the world of martial arts. My mind expanded of, like, this is martial arts. This is what it is. The blood, the sweat, the work, the tears, everything, the failure, everything I learned from wrestling. And I can't ever, like, thank that sport enough. And I miss it, too. Like, I remember these practices we've been going to for Muay Thai. Before, they were just kind of like, oh, yeah, you know, like, I can do it. But, like, it was easy to me. And I'm trying not to sound prideful, but, like, it seemed kind of simple. Like, it wasn't the wrestling practice. Because wrestling practice, I would always be sweating. I would always be bleeding out. Like, that was work. But preparing for this tournament and putting in as much effort as I can, as much stamina as I can, and pushing myself to the limits, I feel that connection to wrestling that I'm like, this is what I felt during wrestling, but now in Muay Thai, and I think that's really cool.
Awesome. It's okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is how the idea of this is basically kind of how we ended up here. But then after we had that conversation, right? And I thought, okay, this would have been nice to record. And then Tiago said something.
Like a podcast?
He said, oh, like a podcast? And my mind, I was like, oh, shoot. Yes. So I love podcasts. So I love listening, watching videos. One of my favorite is Jocko Willink, Jocko Podcast. And I've learned so much from him. I'm actually really thankful. I've read his books. So, but in reality, I never thought that I have enough to talk about. I always thought that I consider myself that I'm not an interesting person to talk about things, so I don't have enough material to talk. And number two is actually being honest is the language, right? I have that language barrier where I struggle with pronunciations and vocabulary. But the truth is, I said, well, let me find out about this. Maybe we can do something like a podcast where it's a video recording and like a video podcast instead of just an audio podcast. So I started looking into the equipment and I started pulling. I did my research, pulled the trigger on the equipment that I considered that was going to be most helpful for us. And here we are. Episode number 1 of the R7 podcast. But why R7? People might wonder why.
Well, we did some fun facts on, like, what R7 means in the world and what, like, maybe some people might be familiar with. Like, wasn't there one that said a type of bomb?
Okay. Here we go. Let's kind of read over this really quick. Let me just share with this right here. So, who would like to read? Hopefully, you guys can understand that.
I can read the first one.
Mm-hmm.
R7, first meaning. May cause fire, a risk phrase in chemistry.
So, like, a warning, kind of like, oh, it's an R7. You know, they would yell that and be like, it may cause a fire. That's chemical may cause fire.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The other one is
Family. Consistent of. Hold up.
Consists of the
Of both missiles and
orbital corners,
rocket.
comet rockets.
R7 missiles and rockets and bombs.
Yep.
It's a family, like a family of that certain type.
Mhm. And then the other two is what? Do you want to read that, Dante?
Yeah. Missile. It's a missile. It's the first Hold up.
Intercontinental
Sorry, I can't really read it.
ballistic missile created by the Soviet Union.
I never knew that. That's kind of cool.
So, and number 4 that we found, just fun facts about it, is a small molecule. Anyways, it's like a drug, right? So I won't read it. It's a little bit
That's big
confusing.
words.
Yeah,
Big words that we don't know.
especially me. I struggle with
Yeah.
that. Okay, so anyways, so what's actually the meaning of it though, for us?
For us, it's like, well, our last name is Reynosa, so that starts with the R. And then we're a family of 7. We have, we have 2 little siblings, Lena and Michael, and our mom. And that makes 7 of us.
What's your mom's name?
Melissa.
Melissa.
The queen, la reina,
The boss.
the boss. Yep,
Our manager.
our everything in there. So yeah, that's another topic for another episode. We're gonna bring her,
In here.
and she's gonna go over how she managed to deal with
5 kids.
5 boys, 1 girl,
4 boys.
4 boys, 1 girl.
5 boys with Michael.
Are you including, you're including you?
Including yourself?
Oh, Scott, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I'm her kid too.
Yeah.
You ask her. Anyway, so this is us here now, the R7 Podcast, episode number 1 again. And something cool that happened with this, if you heard the intro song, something really cool happened here. I need to take a minute and talk about this.
He's been fanboying.
Yeah, so about 2010, when I was started to compete in grappling, right? I found this song, and this song hit me for some reason. It's a reggae genre, and the name of the artist is The Scientist. Now, The Scientist, I started looking into him, and I really couldn't find much of it. For years, maybe 3-4 years later, the only way that I could find that song that I liked was on YouTube. So if I wanted to hear that song, I would go back and play that video on YouTube. And then there was nothing that I could find anywhere on the internet. Then finally found the actual name of the artist, found more albums of him, and found more songs. I continued to look for more songs. I started finding more albums and more songs of him, and it's part of my favorite playlist now.
Reggae relax.
The Reggae Relax, yeah.
I used to love that playlist during wrestling season to calm the nerves.
It's a good playlist.
And you guys love it too, no?
Yeah, I love that playlist.
I love the music of reggae.
So, anyway, but yeah, almost 14 years since I started listening to him, to his songs. And I think about maybe 2008, after 2017, after I got back from Thailand, I wanted to get a hold of him because I actually used one of his songs on one of the videos I put together as a teaser from my trip to Thailand. And I wanted to ask for his permission, but I couldn't find anything on him. And then I started researching, how do I get copyrights here and there? And I got the ideas on how to find it, but then I never found anything concrete that will help me get a hold of him and ask for permission. So about a month ago, I decided to give it one more try. And on my way home after work, I was getting on my work van, heading home, and I decided, oh shoot, I haven't checked Instagram. So I decided to go and search for him on Instagram, and I found him. But then I thought in my mind, it crossed my mind, maybe this is someone else managing his page.
Like an agent.
Yeah. And then I was going to send him a message, hey, this is so-and-so, this is Vinicio Reynosa, I would like to ask for your permission to use one of your songs in a video on a project that I'm working on. But the idea went from that on one video into more and start using it here in the podcast. To my surprise is that instead of me hitting the message button, I saw that contact button on his profile in Instagram. And so if you put your phone number there on Instagram, then that number pops up when you touch that button. And a number popped up. And I kind of realized that the number was from California. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I call, and guess who answered?
Was his voice?
Mr. Hopton Overton Brown, a.k.a. the scientist. Yes, sir. And I talked to him, and I told him what was in my mind. And I told him, hey, this is what I would like to do. I got 3 boys. We're putting together a podcast. And we would love your song. We love your songs, and we would love to have your permission to use your songs and feature your music in our podcast and projects. He was super kind and nice. And he said, son, could I be part of your podcast too? And in my mind, I'm like, I think I understand what he said. But at the same time, I was like, maybe I'm fooling myself here. And then we continued to talk. He asked questions, and then I was answering. And then he asked me again, son, I asked you, could I be part of your podcast? And I'm like, sir, yeah, we would love to. I'm sure my kids would love to have you there. Anyways, long story short, 3 weeks later, almost 4 weeks later, today, as of today, we got permission from Mr. Hopton Overton Brown, the scientist, to use some of his songs in our podcast. How cool was that? Do you guys remember that day when I got home?
Yeah, you were so happy.
Couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
It was really cool to hear that he got to talk with the scientist. It's crazy to hear. I remember thinking that it was so cool too.
So, we're learning as we go. We didn't know anything about podcasting, audio equipment. I'm into everything, so I knew a little bit about video. My son knew about lighting and video and photography as well. And the twins are here learning too. We have put this room together. We've worked for about maybe 2 months on creating sound panels and lighting and
Painting.
paint?
There's a lot of work that was put in here. A lot of things that we had to sacrifice.
We made memories, so I mean that's a good thing.
And learn, right?
And
But what is the purpose of the podcast? Why a podcast? After all,
it's so we can maybe like bond, learn how to communicate better, maybe like inspire people, and just
I'd say it's to learn from each other, grow closer together,
share experiences.
and to learn lessons from others people's experiences, but also maybe be able to like share what we've learned along our journeys and along our stories.
yeah, I like this. So while we were thinking about this, brainstorming in the past, we came up with 3 points that we were going to try to hit on our episodes as we invite other people. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about lessons learned. We're going to listen to what about their lives, what they have learned, so the lessons they learned, and the growth. So life lessons and growth is what we're going to be trying to cover in this podcast. Something that I realize as we have been putting this together is something that is humbling as well. I'm a business owner. I'm busy. I'm a Christian. I'm a firm believer of my Savior Jesus Christ. I'm a firm believer of respect to others. I'm a firm believer of I cannot do everything. And that also opened my eyes to know that the people that surround us in our circle are the ones that are helping me raise my kids, you guys. I can't do this all by myself. Your mom can't do it all by herself. We can't do it all by ourselves. We have great people surrounding us. And we're going to be inviting these people to learn from them, to listen to their experiences. So hopefully we can all grow together and learn together.
Something we learned in class today, literature film, is we read a book called the Potato Peel Pie Society. It's a mouthful. But basically in that book, it's just a collection of all these letters through World War II in a little island called, like, Gransdy. And it just shows the connection between all these characters, what they're going through and all that. And we had to write something down, and we had to, like, explain what we felt reading the book as, like, an assessment. And what I wrote is that, like, the interconnection between all these characters is really cool in this book because it reflects the importance of relationships in life, you know? Like, being able to have relationships and to connect with people in a meaningful, deep way really allows us to be a human, allows us to grow as a human being, individuals, as a family, as a group of people.
Good stuff. Thank you for sharing. Anyways, we mentioned that we will be competing at the U.S. Muay Thai Open in Arizona. What weight classes are you guys going to be competing at?
Me, I'll be competing at the weight of 95. I've wrestled this weight during wrestling season, and I'm doing it in Muay Thai competition. I have done the same, but most of the time I've been up at 100, so I was originally gonna fight at 100, but there was nobody there, so I'm cutting weight.
I'll
Yeah,
be res-
You can talk.
Me and Tiago are gonna be fighting each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
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 No, that's
Praying
good.
not
Yeah.
to.
No, that's great. That's great because that means you're going to the finals.
Yeah, that is true.
For that belt.
And it wouldn't be the first time anyways, right?
No.
Wouldn't be.
They always do it during
We-
It's always a fun experience.
This year, we wrestled each other for the first time, same weight class, and
For 3 times. You won
Yeah.
2, I won 1.
3 times. He won 1, I won 2 times. It was just
And
fun.
that heavy spar session at the gym too, just a few weeks ago. Everyone loved watching you guys. Everyone was like, "Ooh, the twins."
Yeah, we have footage of all of this, so hopefully we can start as we continue to share with you guys. We'll probably bring up some of those videos and watch them together. Landon, what weight class are you gonna be fighting at?
I'll be fighting at 115 to 120, so a little bit higher than what I wrestled, but it's not too bad.
You guys are almost basically on weight.
I am on weight.
Yeah. Oh, you are. Yeah, you are. I was supposed to compete at 145, between 145 and 150. Unfortunately, there was no one there. So they asked me to drop to 140, 145. And I decided to do it. So life, lessons, and growth. I'm going to leave it there because things have happened. Things have changed. And next week, we're going to war.
Next time we might be coming with black eyes. Hopefully not. We have to keep our guard up.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But something that we have to be grateful for is the people that we have surrounded, that are surrounding us at the gym, at Salt Lake City Muay Thai.
At home.
What?
At home.
What do you mean at home?
Because you're like people who are supporting us. We have family at home.
At home?
Yeah.
Like your mom? Yeah.
We have friends. I mean, I've told
Like-
friends that, oh yeah, I'm doing this tournament. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Let me know how you do. I hope-"
Neighbors.
Yeah.
We have
I've had a bunch of friends too.
Our circle,
relatives.
we're blessed to have a good circle of people. People that support us. Like I said, it's starting at home. Our neighbors and our family at the gym. We're going to be bringing over a few of them, most of them, coaches,
Fighters.
teammates, friends, family. Okay,
Special guest.
special guest.
We got a
And-
lot of big things planned, and we are hoping to execute them.
And again, we hope you guys enjoy joining us in this journey. I'm learning a lot. Something that I've learned as a dad since you guys were born is something that has pushed me out of my comfort zone. I came here, I moved to the U.S. when I was 18 years old. Shortly after that, a few months later, I went back to Central America to serve a mission. Serve a 2-year mission for the LDS Church, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Came back, and I faced one of my biggest fears that I didn't know I had, was to start speaking a different language. I was afraid of messing up. I was afraid of speaking up. I was afraid of doing a lot of things. I spent almost 3 months inside of my parents' apartment, afraid of getting out and speaking to people because I didn't want to mess up. I felt the same thing when you guys were born. I didn't want to mess up. I didn't know how we were going to make it. I didn't know how I was going to make it. But something that I've learned is that I am blessed to have you because you have taught me so much. And one of those main things is I gotta be it. What is be it? I gotta be everything you need me to be. Your friend, your dad, the bad guy, the teacher, the protector, the supporter, the cheerleader, the fanboy. I'm your number one fan. So I've learned a lot about myself. And I'm grateful for that. I didn't know anything about this. I was afraid of doing this. And here we are, doing it together. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for pushing me again to, after losing so many matches, get back out on the mats, get back out on that zone of competing again. And I prepare myself. And I am ready to go to war. Because I see you guys are ready to go to war. So I'll be there with you, by your side. Dante?
No, I was just smiling.
I love you guys. Do
Love
you
you
guys
too.
do you guys have anything else?
No. Me and Dante earned these today.
Oh yeah.
And so did my dad for our tournament coming up. And Landon earned his yesterday in the morning.
Yeah, I was there in the morning because I had my wrestling banquet yesterday. So I couldn't go to the practice in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, might as well go get something in the morning.
So yeah. What are these again?
For represent our gym. So the Thai fighters used to wear these when they went to war, right? And they would wear it, but it would be made from relatives' clothing.
Yeah, so the relatives of these fighters. So back then, Muay Thai was more than just a combat sport like it is now. It was a means of survival. So, the idea was, okay, if I lose my spear, this is my spear. If I lose my axe, this is my axe, and so on and so forth. And so they learned this Muay Thai. What was it originally called again?
Muay Boran.
Muay Boran. So they learned that in order to defend their home because they were in a wartime where they were being invaded by, I can't remember. Cambodians. So their family members and their community would make these out of relatives' clothing, hair, teeth, and they would all weave it together to make armbands and then also a headband known as a mongkok. And it was basically to symbolize good luck. We wish you well, we wish you the best, and we hope that you can return back home with honor and bravery. So now in Muay Thai tradition, you get these by your crew. And
What's a crew?
a crew is like
For
your
those
teacher.
that don't know.
So a crew in Muay Thai is kind of like your team, your teacher, your
Coach.
your family, yeah, like your coach
Friends.
and
Your
friends.
coach. No, it's
It's
your
your
coach.
Coach.
Crew is a coach, yeah.
And so our coach, Alexis, she gave us these and was like, you earned this for your hard work and your dedication to what you're going into. So she gave it as a good luck to us and just kind of as a...
Kind of like an award.
Yeah.
For the hard work and discipline you put into doing it.
You earned it. You guys have earned it. I've seen your hard work. I'm proud of you guys. Yeah. we'll talk about more about the culture of the Thai boxing, Muay Thai,
In a different episode.
in a different episode. Yeah.
We still have to go over wrestling, jiu-jitsu. We want to talk about other life things, business.
So, patience with us as we grow, as we learn in this new adventure we're taking up upon us, and hopefully we can all learn together. This is the end of the R7 podcast, episode number 1.
it was a little rough, but we'll keep learning on how to keep things organized. Just be patient with us.
Yeah, we had a few incidents here with the camera, so we'll have to figure out a little of these things.
And I think all of us a little jittery at some points,
But
but we did.
this is us.
Yeah, that's how we are.
This is us. And until the next,
Episode.
we're out.
This is Chino signing out.
This is Dante signing out. Tiago signing out.